All right.
Okay, so we'll start standing. Our feet comfortably under our hips, off my mat because I stick to it. Okay, so just lifting tall through the back of the head, feeling your shoulders relax, feeling your tailbone drop a little bit. Yeah, and we'll just start by breathing and lifting our heels, right, to come into our body and start to breathe. So if you want to bring your arms into it, you can. As you inhale, lift the heels, and as we exhale, we lower the heels back down. So a few nice, deep, full breaths. Good. Inhale up and exhale down. This time when we lift, let's see if we can bring our right knee with us. So without lifting the heels, unless you really think you can, go ahead and lift your left heel up. And exhale that knee down, that leg down. Good. Inhale, lift your left leg up. And exhale, back down. And again, right knee lifts as we inhale. Maybe the heel, maybe not. Exhale, back down. I kind of tried it. And then one more time to the left side, lift. Good. And exhale, back down. And then go ahead and bring your right knee up and stretch your left arm over. And then bring it down and bring your left leg and stretch your right arm over. And just do a little opposite arm leg stretch here. And breathe, kind of get the blood moving, right? Get the blood pumping here as we reach. Exhaling as you lift and reach. Good. When you're even on both sides, bring your feet back under you. And let's go ahead and take our arms and just cross them like genie style in front of us. Good. And just kind of reach your arms, your elbows forward. And then let your back round, let your tailbone curl under you, and let your head come right between your arms. And then lift the chest and lift the head. Let the arms kind of drop. So we're just doing it with our arms crossed in front to shorten the arms, right? And then again, reaching your elbows forward. Feel that stretch in your back as you curl your tailbone under, letting the back round. And then coming up, kind of relaxing those arms as you lift your chest, shoulders down. One more time. Reach elbows away as you round. And lift up and arch. Release the arms, bring your arms over your head, and then just grabbing hold of your left wrist with your right hand, just gently pull yourself over to that right side, giving your arm a little stretch. If you need to widen your legs a little bit apart or whatever feels stable for you, stretch to the side and then lift up. And grabbing hold of our right wrist with our left hand, just taking a side stretch over to the left. And lift up. Let your arms float out and down, widen the legs so that we're in a second, what's called second position, with the toes pointed slightly out. Good. Bend the knees just as much as you're comfortable. And we're going to take our right arm to our right leg and stretch this left arm overhead. And just reach. Then turn your chest to point down And let that arm slowly reach down until you come center. Bring your body center and lift back up. So kind of a little circular movement, right? So taking that right arm over, stretch away, and then turn to point your chest down and reach that arm down to you'll come right between your legs, round forward and stand, or just lift your spine back up. So 2 more. Reaching that left arm over and then turn and let that arm circle all the way down, back to where we started. One more time. Right arm over, stretch, rotate the chest down, reach that arm all the way down and come to the top. And then let's just go ahead and bring our hands down to the floor here and maybe press your elbows into your knees to open them a little bit more if that feels good to you. Kind of a squat. And then letting your legs straighten, and we're going to just stack our spine up, releasing your arms as you straighten the legs and come all the way back to the top. And we're going to bring our legs together, circle the hips, big hip circles. Hands on your hips if you like, doesn't matter, just really let them move. And then the other direction. Good. And then we'll come to center, come to the end of your mat or wherever you want to be. And with your legs under the hips, we're going to start by rolling down. So inhale, exhale, let the head and shoulders relax and roll down till hopefully your hands can touch the mat, bend and straighten the knees, whatever feels good to you here. And then we're going to bend our right leg just a little bit with your left hand on the mat. Bring your right hand to your low back and turn and look to the right. Okay, so we're just twisting a bit here to the right. If you can, release the arm and stretch it up if that feels comfortable to you. Otherwise, just leave your hand there on the back of your hip. And then come back to center. And then letting your left leg bend a little bit with the right leg straight, left hand to the low back, and then turn to the left. Again, if you want, extend that arm. Otherwise, leave it bent, looking kind of up and to the side. And then bring that hand back to the mat. Great. And just let your legs alternate bending the knees here. It's a little bend in the right and then the left. And then centering the legs or bringing them the same. Walk the hands out, coming into pike, spreading the fingers wide, stretching the heels down. Feel free to let your body shift around, lifting the tailbone. Letting the head and neck go. Whatever feels good to you in this stretch, right? And then maybe walking our hands a little farther out and lowering a little farther down. We're coming all the way into a plank, high plank, regular plank, whatever your body wants to do. Breathe. And then coming down to the mat, bringing our knees under us and around onto our back. So Laying down with the feet close to fairly close to our hips, lined up with our hips here. Great. And taking a few breaths, just letting your sacrum move nice and easy, right? So as we inhale, the tailbone will naturally tilt down. As we exhale, the tailbone will naturally tilt up. And you can exaggerate that a little bit, but just let your low back kind of move and release here as you breathe. Inhale and exhale. And even think of using your feet to move your low back, right? So if you were not initiating it from your low back, you're initiating it more from your feet by kind of gently pushing and pulling. So you can really relax your back that way. Right? So the feet kind of initiate that. Good. Next time we exhale, we're going to go ahead and come into a bridge. So peel the spine off the mat, coming all the way up. And at the top of our bridge, adjusting feet if you need to, pressing the hips up, relaxing our shoulders, taking a breath. And then holding the hips up as we exhale down. Feel like almost like you're stretching your spine down to the mat here, one bone at a time. And then relax as you inhale. And again, curling the tailbone up, peeling off the mat again. Good. And at the top of our bridge, let's take our right arm over our head on the ground. Press your right hip up more. So the left hip drops just a little bit, but the legs don't move. Taking an inhale here and then stretching the spine down. So you really feel that stretch through the right front of your hip, one bone at a time. And then when your hips come down, bring your arm back and center your hips. Okay, inhale, exhale, peel off the mat again. And we take our left arm over as we come up. Really pressing that left hip up, letting the right hip drop just a little bit when you do that. And then next exhale, you're going to stretch your spine down. Almost feel like you're reaching through your left knee, right? And really lengthening through that side. And then as the hips come down, our arm comes back where it was and we come to center. Inhale, exhale, peel off the mat, right arm over the head as you come up. And again, press that right hip up. Let the left hip drop slightly as you exhale. Feel like you're reaching through your right knee, stretching your spine back down. And then as you come down, the arm comes back. One more, inhale, exhale, peel off the mat with your left arm going over your head. And then tilting that left hip slightly up, pressing it up as you reach to your left knee and your left arm. Stretch the spine back down on that side. And then letting your arm come back as your hips come down. Good. Take an inhale, exhale, peel again off the mat. And then both arms are going to come over our head. Relax your arms on the ground. Inhale, exhale, stretching as if you're reaching through both knees, arms away from your legs, and stretch your spine back down. Almost like somebody's pulling your arms, right? Really stretching that spine down. And then when your hips come down, relax your hips. Let your arms stay there. Sway the knees over to the right. Oh, yes. And then lift them up and sway them over to the left. Ah. Good. And lift them up. And then we're going to sweep our arms down, reach and grab hold of your right shin or right under your knee there somewhere on that right leg, and stretch your left leg long. So we're going to stretch our legs away from each other here. right? Kind of giving the stretch and then inhaling. As we exhale, just gently pull your low back into the mat. Lift your left leg up. Inhale, lower it back down. Exhale, pull your low back into the mat. Lift that leg up and back down. And again, one more lift. And lower back down. Good. And then you're going to clasp your hands behind your head. Put your right foot on the mat, that knee's bent. Inhale. As we exhale, we're going to press head and shoulders up and turn to the right. So that left elbow points toward the right knee. Come back to center, lie back down as you inhale. Exhale, press head and shoulders up and turn to the right. Back to center, lie down as you inhale. Exhale up and turn to the right again. Back to center and lie back down. Good. And go ahead and stretch bring your left knee in, reach and grab hold of that left leg under your knee. Stretch your right leg long, stretch the legs away from each other. Inhale. As you exhale, lift the right leg up. Again, gently pulling your low back into the mat to help you, right? Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift the right leg. Inhale, lower. However high it comes, doesn't matter. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And then bring your hands behind your head, left foot on the mat. As we exhale, we press up and turn to the left. The right elbow points toward our left knee, back to center, lower down, inhale, exhale, press up, turn to the left. So when we turn, we look back and up, right? Come center, lie back down, exhale up again, turn and look to the left, and come center. Lie your head back down. Draw your right leg up so both feet are on the mat. Inhale. Exhale, press head and shoulders up. Reach and grab hold of your legs with your hands. So we're going to pull ourselves up a little bit more by using our hands. And then stay here and bring your hands behind your head. And then lie back down. Nice deep breath. Exhale, press up. Reach one hand, other hand, grab hold. See if you can lift yourself a little higher, right, off the ground. Stay here. Hands go back behind the head. And lower back down. One more. Nice deep breath. Press up. One hand, other hand reaches. Lift. Now, when you get here, lift your legs up one at a time. So now legs are up. See if you can stay lifted with your legs up. Bring your hands behind your head and lie your head and shoulders back down with the legs up. Good. Go ahead and let your feet relax. Inhale. Exhale, curl up toward your knees. Pull your knees toward your head. Try to lift the tailbone and then lie back down. Good. Nice deep breath. Exhale up. Try to bring knees toward head toward knees. And lie back down. Feeling our abs now. One more. Exhale up. Bringing head toward knees, knees toward head. And relax your head back onto the mat. So we'll go ahead and just give our legs a hug and relax your body for a second. Just let everything get used to it, recalibrate, right? Right. And then we're going to bring our legs into frog so that heels are together, knees are open, toes are pointed out, and hands behind the head. Inhale as you pull those heels in. Exhale, stretch out. Keep the heels together the whole time, right? You stretch out at an angle, squeeze the legs together. Inhale, lie back down. Exhale, really try to keep the knees really open, really externally rotate the legs, right? We're trying to externally rotate the legs as much as we can. Exhale up. So the toes are really pointed out, knees are pointed out. Inhale, lie back down. Good, pull it in. Exhale, stretch it out. Inhale, pull in as you lie down. And exhale, stretch out. This time you're going to lie down, relax your head, but keep your legs here. And then release arms out from the shoulders. So the heels stay together. In frog, take your legs over to the right, keeping our shoulders anchored. And exhale back to the top. Inhale the legs over to the left. And exhale back to the top. And again, take them to the side. And lift up. Maybe you can go a little farther as you get going here. Take them over to the left. Shoulders stay on the ground. Good. A couple more times. Side to side. And then when you come back to the top, go ahead and grab hold of your feet if you can with your hands and come into a happy baby. And or wherever you can hold on and just maybe gently pull those knees toward the ground. So we open our hip. You can rock side to side. If you want, you can also extend the legs out more, straighten them more. Then bringing our self-center feet together. Hold on to your left foot, stretch your right arm and leg out, reaching through your heel and your right arm. Stretch. Bring the right side together, stretching the left leg and arm out. Flexing, reaching through that heel. And then both legs reach. And a little side to side stretch here as we reach and reach. And shift our shoulders and hips up and down, which always feels good. Reach. At least it really feels good to me. I hope it feels good to you. And then we'll relax and open the legs a little wider, arms into a wide V, and bring one hand over to the other to reach for that hand and try to pull ourselves onto our side without letting our legs move or change. Stretch across that side body. And then coming onto our back, taking it to the other side. As far as you can. And coming back onto our back. We're going to bring the legs together. Bend the knees and bring your feet on the ground. Sweep the arms to roll up. Grab hold of your legs if you want to help you up. When we come to the top, we're going to lift our sits bones, legs extended in front. Bring the pelvis forward and stretch forward over the legs. So maybe the knees are bent. Kind of find that stretch, relax. Remember, if you want to get the stretch more in the back of the legs, if you flatten the back, right, you'll get more stretch in the back of the legs. If you want the stretch more in the spine, right, you want to round the spine and reach forward like that. Yeah, something kind of whatever feels good to you. And then we'll come up and bring our legs into the diamond or butterfly position and stretch forward, relaxing the legs and hips. You'll let them go. There's no tension there. And then we'll come up and just rotate the torso a little bit to one side without letting the hips move. And just come forward over that leg. So we have a head going toward knee, feeling that stretch in the side body, the shoulder and hip. And coming up to center, turn a little bit to the other side, forward over that leg. And walking back up to center, lift the legs. So our legs are in a half bend, right? We're going to hold on behind our thighs and inhale, lift the spine tall. As you exhale, curl the tailbone under, creating that rounded low back, and just kind of come back to the sacrum here. We're going to let go of our left arm and rainbow it back. So just following your arm until your fingernails touch ground, and then lift it up and bring it back. And then rainbowing your right arm all the way. And lift it up. Bring it back to the legs. And we're going to pull ourselves up. Lift the spine and inhale. Again, exhale, curl tailbone under and round back. Good. Lift both arms up by your ears. You can come up a little higher. You don't have to go back too far. And then reach forward and then lift up again. If you need to come up at all, no tension in the neck. Reach forward. Good. Lift arms by the ears. Reach forward and come up. I might have to walk because my body moves back. Okay, inhale with the arms forward. Exhale, round back. Good. Just to get to that point. And then we're just going to follow our left arm open out to the side. Right? So just from our shoulder, reach it back. And come forward. Take your right arm out to the side, twisting to the right. And bring it back and come up. Good. Take a moment with let your arms and legs or hips relax. And then let's straighten straighten the right leg. Start there because it's to the forward. With your left leg in a half bend. Right? So just right leg straight, reach forward. We're going to curl back again to that place where we can hang out. Shoulders are not tense. Right? And then lift your left knee up as you exhale. Inhale, lower it. Exhale, the right leg lifts. Inhale, lower it. Exhale, left knee. Inhale, foot to the mat. Exhale, right leg. Inhale, leg to the mat. Exhale, left knee. Just bring it towards you. Put it back. Right leg lifts. And lower. One more each side. Left leg and lower. And right leg and lower and come up. Good. And then just take your right hand, wrap it around that left leg, left hand behind you, pull that leg towards you and just little spiral back into a twist here. And come back around, straighten your left leg, bend your right leg. And if you need to shake them out or anything, feel free to do that. Reach forward as you inhale, tall, exhale, curl back. Right to that place. Lift your right leg as you exhale. Inhale that foot down. Exhale, left leg lifts. Inhale, lower. right leg, and pull it back, left leg. So one leg's straight, one leg's bent. And and I think we need one more each side. Right, next. Last one. And come up. Hold your right leg with your left hand, lift the spine, take a little twist to the right. And come back, face forward with both knees bent. We're going to do a few roll-ups at your own pace. So if you want to bend and straighten your legs, leave them bent, or leave them straight, whatever feels good to you. Rounding back and then letting the arms come with us. We might like to sweep them around to help us come back up. It's a nice, smooth, flowing roll up. Right, just take a few roll ups at your own pace, but focusing on the articulation and the breath. A nice deep breath and the smoothness. Breath. Good. And one more. So wherever you're at when you come to the top, let's have our legs bent. Bring them together. Bring your belly towards your thighs. See if you can grab your feet, right? If you can, stretch yourself, stretch your back by pulling on your feet. Or wherever you can hold on, you can hold on underneath your thighs. Anywhere it works for you. And then lift up, straighten the legs, lift your right leg up, roll onto your back, give it a stretch. So if you want to use a strap or band, of course, you are welcome to grab that and put it around your foot. So just giving the leg a stretch here. Move your foot, of course, flex and point. I always forget with my right foot because I can't move it. Oh. And then you can either use the strap or not. If you don't use the strap, you can bring your arms out from your shoulders, the leg as straight as we can. Take it across the body, right? Sort of reaching that foot towards the left hand, rolling off that right hip, and lift it up, and open it out to the side, foot toward right hand, and lift it up, and again, across the body. Feel that stretch through your hip. And lift it up, keeping that leg high as we open it to the right side. And lift it up. Good. And then just go ahead and hug your knee, give it a stretch. And we're going to rock up. So you might have your leg bent or straight, whatever works for you. Bent is easier. Let yourself rock up to sitting. Grab hold of your left leg. Pull it towards you. And roll onto the back. Giving this stretch. You can move your foot, of course, and use a strap or a band. All right, and then getting our leg as straight as we can. Use it, like I said, use a strap if you want. Take the leg across the body and keep the shoulders anchored. Lift it up. Open it out to the side. Keep the hips down. If you can, keep that right hip down. And lift it up. And again, cross the body. Foot toward hand. And lift. And open to the side. And lift that leg. Give your knee a little stretch in. And then we'll rock up. So if you want, hold on to the back of the leg, or if you have a strap and you want to use it, rock yourself up to sitting. All right, and then we're going to come on to, you can remove your band or strap if you're using it. Come on to one side. So we're going to be with our legs in a half bend or so, right? With just a loose bend in front. And see if you can be on your elbow, if that's possible. But if you want, you can also come down farther. It's really up to you, whatever feels most comfortable to you or what you feel like doing. And we're going to lift that top leg up and lower it back down and just lift it up. Kind of open the hip a bit. Find the position you might need to adjust. Up and lower. And lift and lower. Good. And now bring the leg behind you with it bent. Just kind of pull back and then reach forward and pull back and reach forward. Pull back. It's uncomfortable for your hips. If you're up on your elbow, do come down, because I know it can put a lot more stress on the hips and the back. Okay. Just kind of swing it. Good. And then we're going to go into a bicycle. So you're going to reach back, straighten the leg. So you're going to pull the knee back as much as you can, straighten the leg. Good. So finding that stretch, how far back can you go? And then bend the knee and pull it in. So we really want to get that back stretch to the back, right? Bend, pull it in, reach forward, stretch back, bend knee, pull it in, reach forward, stretch back. Good. And then when we go to the back, we're going to reverse, forward, bend it in, heel to butt, stretch back. Move the joints. Basically why we do this. Yeah. Good. And the next time your leg is back, lay it down behind your bottom leg. And if you're not up on your elbow, come up onto your elbow, bring this top arm up and open to the back, and then lift it up and dive underneath your arm. Kind of shoulder stretch, twist, right? And then coming back to face forward, we're going to straighten that top leg, and then we're going to lift the rib cage, lift the hips, lift the arms, stretch your arm away from your leg and lift your leg. Now stretch, and then lift the arm, but keep your leg lifted, and then lower everything down. And then again, lift the rib cage, lift the hips, lift the arms, stretch over, lift the leg, big stretch. Keep the leg lifted a little longer, lift the arm, lower everything down. One more. Lift the ribs, lift the hips, lift the arm. If you can't lift your hips, that's okay. You can do the rest of it. Reach your arm and leg away from each other. Keep that leg lifted. Lift your arm up, lowering everything all the way down. Press up to mermaid. Hold on to your leg, or half mermaid if you need your half mermaid. Take a little side stretch here. And then come up. And we're going to come to the other side before we do the hip stretch, because we're going to do a hip stretch for both sides. But just come to your other side. And again, if you want to be on your elbow like that, great. If you don't, you can come down lower onto the ground more. Okay, half bend. And then you're going to lift and lower the top leg a few times. So finding the position that feels right for you as you lift, lower, and breathe. And open that hip a bit. And then we're going to, next time we lower, we're just going to pull the knee back. Right? You just really pull it back. And then just let it swing forward and back a few times. So reach. You need to move forward. Reach. So we really want to feel the stretch to the top of the thigh and the top of the hip flexors. Next time we pull it back, extend the leg and really stretch back. Feel that nice extension. And then bend it so you're really pulling back as far as you can, and pull the knee up, reach to your heel, and sweep it back. Right, so the bicycle movement for our joints. Again, this is harder to do if you're up on your elbow, so please feel free to do a different position. Yeah. And then next time we reach back, we'll just reverse it. So move it the other direction. Feel the butt stretch back. And then next time that leg goes back, you're just going to lie it on the mat behind your bottom leg. Lift your arm. If you're not on your elbow, come up to your elbow and just open to the ceiling, arm back. And then bringing your arm forward and diving through like a thread the needle through that arm, underneath that shoulder. And then coming back to face forward, go ahead and straighten your top leg down the mat, being on this elbow. Lift the ribs, lift the hips, lift the arm, reach your arms, lift the leg, reach your arm and leg away from each other. Keep that leg lifted, lift the arm up, and then everything can lower back down. Again, rib cage lifts, hips if you can, leg, reach, stretch. Keep the leg lifted as your arm lifts, and lower back down. And one more. 3 is a good number, right? Lift up. Stretch arm and leg away from each other. Really lift that leg. Keep it lifted. Lift the arm. It's a half star, right? Lower everything back down and come up to mermaid, or whatever you can manage that's similar to mermaid. Take a side stretch. And then we'll do our hips. We're going to do something a little bit different. You're just going to sit with both legs bent in front, like that, and like a bent leg straddle like we sometimes do. And then you're going to just let your legs drop over to the left. So when you do that, you're the leg should be about a 90-90 angle, right? From the hip and from the front. And then you're just going to come forward over your front leg or your leg that's bent in front. And just lay down over that leg, and you can adjust your body to move closer to your foot if you want more stretch, or the other direction. Just kind of find what feels good to you. Yeah, just giving our hips a little stretch like this. And if you want to, you can stretch your back leg straight. So it's more like a pigeon stretch, right? One we do a lot in yin. And then go ahead and press up to sitting and bring your legs back around. Let them drop over to the other side. So just finding about a 90-90 angle there. Come forward over that leg. And again, adjust yourself. Whatever feels good, you can walk more towards your foot. And if you want, you can slide your other leg straight, a little bit more straight back. This is a really good stretch for the IT band. Obviously for the lateral hip and thigh, outside of the thigh and leg and hip. But yeah, it's just a really great stretch for that whole area. Right, go ahead and press yourself back up and slide your other leg in if it's straight. Come around, and we're going to be, well, actually, let's come sitting with one leg extended and one foot in to the thigh. So whichever leg you want to start with. And we're going to bring this hand behind us, and we're going to arch back and lift the hips and just stretch over, right into that nice big arch. And then lift the arm, lower everything down, lift up, and then come into a twist and a half saw. So reach across for the outside of that foot. And then come back up. And again, taking ourselves back, lifting the hips if you can, arching back, nice big side stretch. And then coming up, lowering the hips down, and coming into half saw, reach across. Foot. Good. And come up, and we'll do the other side. So just kind of a little half saw stretch combo. Okay, so this foot into the thigh, right? And then taking this hand back, arching back, lifting the hips, big stretch, arch over, and then lift up, lower the hips, coming to face forward, twist, reach for the outside of your foot. And come up and center. One more time, twist to the back, lift up and arch. And coming back up and lowering down, we come center, twist, reach across. Stretch over that leg. Good. And then coming back to face forward, we'll come around to our all fours. Take a little bit of movement in our spine here. So letting your tailbone roll under, letting your back round, and then if you like, pushing your hips back toward your heels and lifting up and coming into an arch. Right, but whatever feels good to move your spine, this like cat-cow sort of movement, right? Good. And then we'll bring ourselves into neutral. And if you want to widen your hands a little bit more, do whatever you need to adjust them. Lift your left leg up behind you with it bent. So the foot reaches for the ceiling. Just kind of lift it up. Same thing, that front of our leg gets a good stretch, right? We're going to lift it toward the ceiling. Good. And then you're just going to open it to the side and bring it forward to your shoulder and down and back and lift. We're making a circle. Open it to the side, bring it to your shoulder, lower it down, bring it up behind you. To the side, toward the shoulder, lower it down. So we keep the knee in the same shape. We're just circling the hip here. Next time your knee comes down, go ahead and relax it on the mat. And then our right leg's going to lift behind us with the knee bent. Really lift that knee as high as you can behind you. Look toward the ceiling. And then open to the side. Bring it to your shoulder. Lower down. And lift it back up behind you. Lift, kind of focusing on that lift in the back, right? And then to the side, to the shoulder, and down. And lift, open, shoulder, and down. Lift, open, bring it to the shoulder, and down, and lift. Last one. Open, bring it to the shoulder, and back to the mat. Good. We're going to come on to our elbows and Sphinx. So elbows under the shoulders. Maybe just rock your body a little bit side to side if that feels good. And then with our hands facing down on the ground, we're just going to slowly straighten the arms, draw the shoulders down, and you might need to adjust your hands. Just find your baby swan here, stretch, and then let's look up so we feel that stretch in the front more. Pressing the pelvis into the ground. Good way to stretch the front of the body. And then let your elbows bend. And we're just going to stack our hands, rest our forehead on our hands on the ground. We're pressing your arms into the ground. Lift the head and chest up as high as it goes, right? The head and chest. And then let your arms extend out from your shoulders and reach back toward your feet and lift up to like dart pose, right? Or locust pose. Good. And then bring the arms back to where we started. Stack the hands, lower down. And then press into the mat, lift the head and chest, reach the arms out from the shoulders, stretch back, roll the shoulders back and lift. Bring the arms back the way they came. Hands stacked and lower back down. Good. And again, press head and chest up. Reach arms out to the shoulders. Reach back, pull the shoulders back, and we're going to stay here. And we're going to open and close our legs. So think of turning your heels towards each other, your toes away from each other, right? Like frog. And just do a little kind of as if you could click your heels together. They might not. But just open and close, little squeezes, right? And breathe. Just a little squeeze. Breathe. At least my heels don't click together. All right, and then stop your legs, bring your arms back the way they came,
Again, stack the hands and lower everything down. Then draw your elbows in and toward your waist, hands under the shoulders. Great. We're going to lengthen out and up. And we can't go any higher. Press into the hands. Come up into our version of swan. And lower back down. A little back extension. Good. And again, out and up. Press into the hands. And lower back down. And one more time. Lengthen out and up, pressing into the hands, coming all the way up to the knees. Stretch back to the heels. Oh, I see a beautiful dog flying. Okay, just whatever feels good to you, knees apart, knees together. Right, just stretch back for a moment. All right, and then coming out from that little shell stretch or child's pose, coming onto sitting on your mat. We're going to bring our hands behind our legs. And guess what? A little teaser. So just for because we haven't done any teaser, right? So you're just going to lift tall as you inhale. Exhale, curl the tailbone under and round back. And then as you come down to your sacrum, lift one leg, other leg up, and balance. See if you can let go. And then roll onto the back, knees come in, arms go up. Take a nice deep breath. Lift the arms, reach or grab hold of your legs. Straighten the legs and reach and roll up. And if you need to hold on to your legs or keep them bent, right, roll slowly down. Bring the arms up and over. Give a little stretch with those arms and then lift and exhale up again. And of course, you don't have to straighten your legs. It's just whatever you can manage, right? It's a roll up, right? We're rolling up and down. Okay, arms go over the head. Big stretch. One more time. Inhale, exhale up. And then when you come to the top, you can hold your legs, bring your feet down to the ground, come up to sitting, find your either diamond legs for those of you that prefer, or some other position than a straddle. Straddle the legs if you can. Reach your arms out and just do a few saw stretches. So we're going to twist, anchor the hips, and reach across. Really anchor those hips down, coming up to tall, rotate and stretch across. And up and breathe. It's always a great way to sort of wind down, right? And sort of give everything a stretch, right? And then when you're even on both sides or you feel stretched out and you come to the top, go ahead and give your shoulders a little roll. And then lengthen your neck and feel your chin kind of pull back and lengthen that through the back of the head. Just take your head to the right, and lift it up, to the left, and lower it down. So circle your head as if you were drawing a circle with your nose in front of you. Little neck release, simple neck release, and then the other direction. I know you're going to hear little weird sounds, but in your head and neck. It's okay. Lengthen the neck, right? Lengthen the spine. All right, and then center. There we go. All right. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to hit the button.